So you ever wonder what your car insurance actually does? So most people, I think of their car insurance as there to pay for their vehicle to get fixed in case it gets damaged in an accident or you hit a deer or something like that. And that's part of it. That's, I guess, maybe the main reason a lot of us have insurance or have had to use insurance in the past. But the main reason why you have insurance, car insurance, is liability protection, so that if you get involved in a crash and you cause the crash, and someone has to make a claim against you, has to sue you, your insurance actually steps in and pays for their damages and hires attorneys to defend you up until the amount of your limits, whatever your liability limits are. So that primarily, automobile insurance is liability insurance, liability protection for you as you're out on the road driving. And some of us, we just make mistakes. We miss stop signs, we get distracted, we fall asleep, whatever the case may be. And so it's primarily liability insurance, and I would say secondarily property insurance, but really I would say almost as important as liability insurance is its protection for us when we're driving our vehicle. If someone else causes a crash and either they don't have insurance or they don't have enough insurance. If they don't have any insurance, it's called uninsured motorist coverage. Uninsured motorist coverage essentially treats your insurance as if it's the other driver's insurance up to your limits. Underinsured limits is if the other driver has some insurance, but they don't have enough. They don't have enough to pay all of your damages. Maybe they have low policy limits, or maybe you're severely hurt and the amount that the insurance company has for the other driver just isn't enough to pay all of your damages. And so underinsured motorist coverage protects you and your passengers in that event. And a lot of people, I think, unnecessarily waive or limit their uninsured and underinsured coverage because they think, well, I'm a safe driver, I'm not going to cause crashes or whatever. And that may or may not be true, but that really only helps you on the liability side of things. If you're a safe driver and you're not going to cause crashes, then let's say what you think you need for liability coverage may be lower. But what you can't control is what everyone else does. No matter how good of a driver you are, you can't control whether other drivers are acting safe, whether they miss stop signs, whether they're paying attention. And the only way that you could really protect yourself, other than just staying at home, is to get uninsured and underinsured coverage for you and your family, and err on the high side of coverage. Now, keep in mind that most insurance companies will require you to have the same limits. You probably can't get higher uninsured and underinsured limits than your liability limits. So if you want $300,000 in underinsured coverage, you probably will have to have at least $300,000 in liability limits. And there's ways to get the best bang for your buck through umbrella policies and things like that. So it's really important that you talk to your insurance agent. Talk to your insurance agent. Look at your insurance policy. Look at what it says for liability limits. Look at what it says for uninsured and underinsured limits, and see how much that is. And ask yourself, if I was involved in a crash that someone else caused and I was badly injured, would that be enough insurance to cover all that? And that includes your medical expenses, property damage, pain and suffering, missed work. How much does an ambulance trip cost? How much does a trip in a helicopter cost? $100,000 does not go very far if there's any kind of a bad injury at all. And God forbid, let's say you're badly injured, or a passenger in your vehicle is badly injured. $100,000 just does not go very far. Heck, $1 million doesn't go very far, but it's a lot better than $100,000. So talk to your insurance agent, make sure you know what your limits are, and find out how much it would cost to increase those limits, because typically, for most people, once you get to, let's say, $100,000 of insurance, the cost of adding another $100,000 or $200,000 or more is generally a lot cheaper than it is to get that first $100,000. So you can really add coverage and protect you and your family for not a ton of extra money through an umbrella policy or just higher limits. So talk to your insurance agent. Take it seriously, because I see it too many times that people come to me, they've been involved in a bad crash, and the other driver didn't have insurance or didn't have enough insurance, and then they didn't have enough insurance, and there just isn't anything I can do to help them in that situation except, warn people and give them a heads up before a crash happens. So I hope you'll take that advice. Talk to your insurance agent. If you have questions about any of that, feel free to leave a comment below or go to the link tree in the description and send me an email, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, everyone, have a good one.